Hey everyone, this is Marcella, and thank you for joining me today on Coffee Talk, my latest series from Their Story Told. And I am here live from Quarantine Studios here in Dallas, Texas. And I'm with my very dear friend, Julie Nelson, who is coming from San Diego. Thank you, Julie, for being with me today.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here. So to clarify, I am quarantining in San Diego.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Long story short, but I kind of got stuck here during the quarantine time. So
Julie and I have known each other for a long time, but tell those who aren't familiar with your business about your background and how long you've had your business.
Sure. So I've spent my whole career, entire career in hospitality. I started out in the hotel business and eventually wound up in meeting and event planning, working for other meeting and event planning companies, and then eventually formed my own company called Muse Events. And we have a focus on corporate events and incentive trips. And we do a little bit of social, but our main focus is corporate events and incentive trips. And currently I'm working strongly in the Texas and Minnesota markets. Not to mention, I have clients kind of everywhere. San Diego, San Francisco, Austin, Dallas. They're kind of everywhere depending on the timing. So yeah, so that's what we do, meetings and events.
Yeah, very exciting business. And you're so good at what you do. You're like made for this industry. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
So with that being said, kind of what is the current state of your business as well as your industry?
Yeah, so, as you know, the hospitality industry, any service industry is just getting hit so hard right now. I'm thinking about of course, restaurants are getting so much recognition, but I'm just thinking about all the, services that are out there, my esthetician, my, just personal care services that people have made their living off of, they're all shuttered as well. So anything service related in general is just hit so hard. Meetings and events and restaurants and hotels seem to get the biggest recognition right now because it's such a massive industry. So for me, of course, I had some things lined up through May. Everything has been cleared off the books. Currently, I have some clients right now that still have things booked for the fall, September and October. And, knock on wood, hopefully we'll be back in business by then. But I'm trying to be strategic and think about what I can do if those things go off of the books as well. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to figure out how we can stay in front of clients and potential clients. I think it's just a good opportunity right now to experiment. We have nothing to lose. I'm all about just experimenting and really flexing our entrepreneurial muscles right now. It's like, the pressure's off. I feel like in the past, I've been hesitant to try new things that might be too crazy, but wheels off, man. Whatever works right now and just keep trying. It's almost enlightening to get a little scrappy again, and be woken up. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's so great to hear you say that because that's exactly how I've been feeling. And it's kind of like, why not? Like, that's why I'm doing this. Like, why not try it? Everyone is, this is kind of our new normal now is, virtual conferencing and, connecting with others. Obviously, thank God for technology, but,
I know.
I don't know what we would do without it. Sometimes we wish we didn't have it, but now we definitely thank God we have it. But yeah, that was my next question is like, how are you adapting your business to this crisis? And Because I know a lot of people are just trying new things and
Yeah.
seeing what sticks.
Yeah, I'm definitely exploring the ideas of, the virtual conferences and how we can really up the game. 2 years ago, I was able to attend an industry-wide conference where a vendor literally had this set up where, you can tap into virtually an event, and you have a sidebar where you can pick your breakouts and hop in and out of breakouts and attend the general session or whatever. That was actually in a live environment. So, you can go to a conference center and sit in one room and attend the general session or attend a breakout. So like that, just bringing that down to this level of sitting in someone's office, the CEO's office, and hearing his keynote address to his people, and then going to your breakouts and that kind of thing. So really fine tuning that kind of thing and making it something that people don't have on their calendar for the day and like, oh, another Zoom meeting that I have to attend, because people are getting tired of this stuff. So how can we mix in video, ahead of time with that, that's more robust and that people can practice with and try to get a little bit better on their delivery. If you have that, God bless them, CFO, that it's that CFO's turn to talk, sometimes they're not the best, speaker. So have that person on video and do some fun things to get the energy going in the video itself. So really working on those things and trying to find the energy. I mean, my job is to find the energy and make it full force for the client. And that's in live events or these type of things. And so it's continuing to be creative, to find that energy and bring it to the screen right now. It's my hope that we're hearing a lot of, there's going to be more meetings that are going to be virtual in the future because of this opportunity now that we're in. People are seeing that, they can meet on the screen. I personally still feel that you cannot replace human energy. I know you, Marcella, and this is not what I want as a ongoing relationship with you. I don't want to have a screen between us. I want to be with you. And so my hope is that we won't go to that world, because I think it can become a dangerous place to be as far as the way humans interact, and we need more interaction with each other. I mean, we're just coming off the heels of studies about children having too much screen time, and children having too much screen time, and the fact that the affluent will have less screen time than, the poverty-stricken onset of, the humans out there. And all of a sudden we're hearing that, oh, we can be on screen now. I mean, well, that's totally contradicting. I still feel in my heart, but I'm a big touchy-feely person. I still feel in my heart we need to have the connection with one another. Now, I do think people are going to be cautious for the next 18 months for sure. And I think the event industry and hotel industry will suffer for 18 months because, people will be hesitant to travel with the virus still out there.
Agree. No, that's fair. That's a really good point. I think, I've been asking some people, and it's like, how are you going to feel when this thing is like, okay, it's free to roam around. What are you going to do? And a lot of people say the first thing I do want is a hug, which I agree. But I think, I think a lot of them, I know that human contact is so important. I think we were realizing how important it is, like, don't stick us in our home for 6 months and tell us we can't go anywhere.
No.
But I do think that we all also will be a little hesitant too. I just had
how this is going to look different in the future, and more space between people. I mean, you cram people into some meeting rooms, and it's just like, just thinking about that right now is not an option. So I'm actually thinking about my contracts that I do have in the future and looking at the fact that my space is too small.
Interesting.
Right now,
Yeah.
they, in a past situation, they were perfect size, but now they're too small. So I'm working on going back with my vendors right now and trying to get more space, bigger space for these events, because I know that my clients aren't thinking about that right now. They're thinking about saving their companies, but that'll be coming next when they still have these events on the books. So I want to be able to have that done.
Right.
Um,
That's great. That's
yeah, yeah.
right. You have to be at the forefront of for your clients, and to think about these things ahead of time because they're probably already thinking about it now as it is. Um, and so it will be really interesting. It's like that will change everything, like you said, changing venues, your whole plan because it is still fresh. I mean, just because let's say they do say, okay, business will be open in May or however, I don't think people are really going to be rushing to the
Yeah,
stores.
and what's really concerning is, spring and fall are big meeting times for the event industry,
Mhm.
and we're all going to be slowly going back to quote life, um, you know, May, June, and then there will be another surge of the virus, which means basically by the fall it'll be coming. And
Yeah.
so, I'm trying to also, just things I'm trying to do is just renegotiate contracts. We're going to need it. And so, um, contracting is important. And there's so many things about event planning that people want to do because it looks so fun. I mean, the
Yeah.
majority of event planning is strong budgeting, negotiations that are fair for all parties, including the client and myself, and the vendors, because we're all in this together. And then, our contracting is just, it's got to be strong, especially going forward with this kind of stuff.
For
So,
sure.
and, there's so many facets to it, but
Yeah.
yeah, just staying strong with that. And then I guess, things that would be new, is just like I said, the thinking about the social distancing and how to alleviate some of the fears people will have getting back out into the general population,
Right.
you
Right.
know?
Because I mean, you're going to have to be that solid rock for your clients to know that that they can count on you. Not only obviously the contracts are so important, but also it's like, is this going to be okay for my clients? And
Yeah,
those
yeah.
attending, I mean, that's something that they're going to look to you for leadership and guidance.
Yeah, the confidence and, like you said, leadership. I mean, people get so nervous about having meetings and events, and that's the thing, is it's so easy for me to have them. And so you really are leading confidence for them and giving them the courage to have them in the first place.
Yeah.
So, being stronger than ever in my data and best practices, and continuing with, really for me, just networking with my peers in this industry is so important. um, there's just so much benefit from being involved in other, industry related organizations that good information comes from, idea exchange. None of this event stuff happens in a vacuum. I mean,
Right.
I rely on my whole community of people and vendors and, contractors. um, it's not just Julie Nelson.
Even though it may appear that way
I
because
like
they're
to
that
say that,
good.
but, there was probably a day where my ego thought so, but I don't know. I've been put in my place a few times.
Well, the world's a little bit more complicated nowadays, so I'm sure. I mean, it takes a definite, an army of people to put something on. So, as
Yeah.
we all know, um, from a personal level, what are some of the things that you are enjoying from this? I mean, you're quarantined by yourself in San Diego. It sounds pretty amazing.
I
Not far
I
from the
know,
water.
I know. It's
I
like,
just,
I decided to just take a knee. I was very anxiety stricken about this whole thing. Being a planner, my whole mind is wired to look at the future and think about what's going to happen and think about the different scenarios, and then mitigate those things and go backwards and try to figure out a plan how to mitigate all these things that can happen. And that is why I'm beneficial to my clients in what I do, because I have a mind that can think like that and really think about the true scenarios that can happen, not just ridiculous ones, and the threats to my clients' events. And then again, work backward toward mitigating all of those scenarios so they have a smooth outcome and they don't know any wiser. So
Exactly.
I think that way in life sometimes when I get anxiety stricken, and I was really thinking like that the first week and a half about this whole virus. I was thinking about people losing their businesses. I was thinking about people I know are going to get sick. I was thinking about people I'm associated with will possibly die. I mean, I like, whoa,
Oh, so
and
hard.
so, but it's the mind of an event planner, and several other of my colleagues in my industry have gone through the same thing. So I realized that I needed to take a knee
Yeah.
and I needed to chill out. My client's event was taken off the books. So, I don't have anything else until the fall. So I gave myself some grace just to slow down.
Good.
Um, so personally, I've just decided to take at least the time I'm spending here um, a little more focused just on relaxing and clearing my mind. And this week is the first week that like all of a sudden my mind is starting to think about fresh ideas.
Oh, great.
And so, it's figuring out how I want to be in front of, clients, potential clients. So it's working. I think it's good that I took the time to just clear my mind. I don't think we're ever our best selves when we're in a state of fear. And I had to get rid of that fear before I can move forward with some positive things to grow personally and professionally. So that's my process. It's a little crazy, but
Well,
I had to work on getting out of a state of fear before I could be creative with anything. Yeah.
sure. Because I mean, that just blocks you. Like you said, you cannot move forward with that. And I mean, thank God you have that self awareness to realize that about yourself, because not a lot of people do. And then they just stay in that state, you know?
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, yeah. And I've been there. I mean, I've been there, but I've been there so many times
yeah.
that like, I know I am not productive in a state of fear. And
Mhm.
um, I try to, when I know I'm in a state of fear, I try to allow myself the time to do whatever it is I need to do to get out of it. Because trying to fight that, like fear go away, just doesn't happen like that. You've
Yeah.
got to, I mean, yoga, walk, eat right, self care, and then get back on track. So it feels good to be back on track this week,
That's awesome. I'm so glad
Yeah.
to hear that. I feel the exact same way. I don't know whether it's like, okay, we're 4 weeks into it. So maybe.
Yeah. Well, I think and what is it? 30 days creates a habit. Like we're
Yeah,
all in the habit of
maybe.
living this new life now. So we're probably not the only ones, Marcella. There's
I
probably
know. You're
a big
probably
community out
right.
there.
It's like, oh, everyone can say. Where can people find you and, website support you and your social
Yeah.
media?
Yeah. So website is meetingmuse.com, and that's meetingmuse.com, Meeting Muse. And then on social media, all my handles are at Meeting Muse. I'm on Instagram with the Operation Sends Love. If you want to send me your address, I'd love to send you
I
a
love
link.
that.
Yeah. And then I kind of do a posting about that person each day as well. It just feels good
Yeah.
to, I love to love people up, in my career, my clients, my friends, my family. So it's been really fun to do that. So
I'm glad you're doing that. Let's bring that back. I mean, I'm one. I love to receive cards as well as send them too. So I think that's just so
yeah,
great you're doing that. Just people need to. It's like, let's get back to the basics. It's just I
yeah.
love it.
And quite honestly, it's selfish. It's part of my self-care. It's part of
Yeah.
bringing out the love from my heart. And, when you're feeling love, it's hard to feel fear. So that's part
Sure.
of my exercise to get out of my state of fear, is just to feel more love. And it's helping. It works.
So great. Oh, well, thank you
Yeah.
for spreading your love. I love it. It's so great.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with me today, Jules. It's so good to see your face. I've missed you. Be
You
safe in San
too.
Diego.
Yeah, thank you so much. And, I can't wait to see you next time in Dallas and let's give each other a
Give you
hug.
a hug.
I
Yeah,
love
long
you.
overdue. My gosh. Long
Yeah.
overdue.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.